Okay, well, I figured I should update since I just got back from my new surgeon. And while a lot of what he said was information that I already knew, it still didn't necessarily feel good to hear it. The first reaction to the pain issue was, I don't know exactly what I can do about it because it's not my work. He was a little perturbed that I went to a general surgeon and not him, or a bariatric surgeon to do the hernia repair to begin with. But he did say he's willing to figure out what is at least causing the pain. We may not be able to fix it though. It may just be a painful spot I have to learn to deal with. It could be something completely unrelated, so he's going to try and find out. And then we started discussing my diet and my activity level, and he told me that I had the wrong surgery, that I should have had the duodenal switch, which I knew. I knew that the night before I had my Roux-en-Y, but I chose to move forward with the Roux-en-Y because of commonality, and I was scared and didn't really know how to go about applying to have DS done, and going out of state, and just all of the things that would be involved in doing it kind of intimidated me, so I just moved forward with the Roux-en-Y. And he told me that the amount of weight that I have lost is actually considered very successful considering how obese I was. Hearing the words, "You were super morbidly obese and you are now obese," makes you a success. Kind of shocked me a little bit because I feel successful. I don't feel like a failure, but I don't feel like a success either. I feel like I'm kind of somewhere in between in a gray area, but I guess on paper I am considered successful considering, point A to point B. So there's that. He said that I'm doing things right as far as calories. He would reduce my calories a little bit, just based on his own experience. He said that I'm definitely not in the honeymoon phase anymore, and that I spent most of my honeymoon phase being pregnant. Told me that I have one of the cutest weight loss killers there is. By getting pregnant, I did slow down the weight loss process, but he believes that this is about where I would have ended up anyway because of the surgery type that I had. So there's all that. He does want to consider a revision to my surgery to help me get to a healthy body mass index. But the first agenda is to figure out where the source of the pain is. So we're having an upper GI with a small bowel visualization, and we're going to be doing an abdominal CT scan. And that's the starting point, and an ultrasound as well. In addition to blood work and labs to see where all of that stands. And I know that's going to be a mess because it always is. So you may hear me saying that I'm going to have an iron infusion again shortly. And so that's the medical standpoint of where things at. And then there's the emotional roller coaster that I've been on for the past few days. And what's funny is that none of it actually pertains to my life. A lot of you may not even know what the hell I'm talking about, and that's fine because it's not my intention to share gossip or spread gossip. I just know that on the receiving end of accusations and hateful comments and implications that I'm pretty much a one-sided friend have hurt me. I'm not going to name names. And I'm not going to go into details because that does no good, and that would turn me into, a bad version of some other, YouTubers out there. And I'm not interested in that. I guess I just want to address that when I had Jalen, I had an influx of friend requests to my Facebook page. A number of people from my support group wanted to be on my friends list and wanted to see updates and information on my child, and that was fine. I appreciated it, and I felt loved, and I felt supported, and I met a lot of people from it. And since then, I have had a lot of people add me and continue to message me and check in on her and check in on me. And my life has been one big roller coaster, health-wise and emotionally and financially. And I've had a lot of support out there. And I appreciate every single person, whether they comment or whether they don't, whether they like a post or whether they don't, I appreciate it. And there are over 300 people on my Facebook page. And that's not bragging, that's is what it is. You know, there's some of you watching this that have over 900, so it's not about the number, but I read every single thing that I see. I don't have time necessarily to sit there and comment or like or give you my 2 cents. And half the time I don't consider my 2 cents worthy sharing, so that's why I'm not saying anything at all. Or I think what I say will be turned and twisted, and so I just would rather bite my tongue, because I can be a little blunt and I can be a little bitchy, and sometimes that comes across more aggressive than I want it to. So I just don't say anything. But that doesn't mean I'm not paying attention, and it doesn't mean that I don't respect you or that I don't love you or I don't care about you. Because if you're on my friends list, then that means that in some way, in some part, I care about you. I read what you have to say, whether you read what I have to say or comment or not. My friendships are not about what I get in return. And I was accused of being a one-sided friend, and I can honestly say that's one of the worst things that someone could accuse me of, because I tend to put more into other people than I do myself. And to be accused of anything but being genuine was hurtful. So I guess the point of me even bringing that up isn't to stir up drama, isn't to put anybody on notice or anything like that. It's more just to make it known that if you in any way feel that I am ignoring you, or I'm not commenting on what you're saying enough, or that I'm not sharing my thoughts with you, or that I'm not praying for you, or that I'm not concerned about your new dog, that I'm reading everything. If you are on my friends list, I'm reading what you have to say. I may just not I may not know what to say in return. And that's as far as it goes. It means no disrespect. It means no harm. I just don't always know what to say. And if that makes me a bad person, then I'm sorry. I can't change that I don't know what to say. So there's that. So there's the physical, there's the emotional. My anniversary is on Saturday, so I'm trying to perk up. My husband has been defending me left, right, and center, because I finally stopped telling him no, he wasn't allowed to. He got sick of seeing his wife crying over strangers. So I hope you all have a great weekend. And again, I apologize if I in any way have made anybody feel less than respected or cherished, because I cherish all of my friendships, no matter if I've known you for 2 months, 2 days, 10 years. I'm a genuine person, and I wouldn't have you on there if I didn't care about you in some way. So, have a good weekend.